Okay, I want to talk about the resistograph or alternative methods for inspecting a pole. I did want to talk about the sonic pole tester real quick. It operates like with a ping there. I think they call that a ping, and you hit one side of the pole and you got this receiver on the other side that registers good or bad. It measures sound waves so that when the sound waves are traveling fast through solid wood, but then it hits a pocket there and it slows those sound waves down, and when it hits that receiver, it registers as bad because it thinks there's voids in the pole, which it thinks is rot. All right, so that takes care of that. But the resistograph, now I've studied up on them a long time ago, but I don't even know what they look like now. They used to be in like some kind of a box with a drill bit that goes down. It's a skinny, a real thin drill bit, so you can't use a probe to feel around in there. Now this is a depiction of the pole with old borings, and usually one would be a fumigant. And if you're fortunate enough to drill into the 80s and 90s, ones that were inspected in the 80s and 90s, and put wood fume in, well, they're going to have a big 3/4 inch wood plug to plug them after they put the wood fume or whatever in there. So when then you come through with this here bit and you fall through an inspection boring, which happens a lot, even now that the poles that we're doing now have only been inspected once. And a lot of times we'll hit the old inspection bit from 12, 15 years ago, or maybe longer than that. But we still hit them. So, and maybe a couple times a day. But if you hit an old boring with this resistograph bit, it's going to register as a void in there. And, it's going to tell you that pole's bad when it really ain't, so you can have a higher reject rate. And if you're going by this thing just because you need a digital footprint of this pole, well, you're running the risk of making a wrong call. So what you really need is somebody who knows how to operate this thing here. It's a shell indicator. See how it's kind of bent there? That's so when you run it through that. Okay, so this resistograph, the bit's too small, so you can't probe down in there. So that's a big issue with that. However, so this boring, with the sounding bore, you can get down in there and you can feel those voids with this thing, and determine whether or not it's a hard old boring, or if it's a decay pocket. And you'll be able to feel that with these things and make a determination. So I want to kind of show you how this shell indicator works. It's bent so that when you say this is a boring inside of a pole, when it's being pushed down in there, it's bent so that it's going to keep pressure on that tip here. When it hits a rotten spot or another boring, if it's another boring, you're going to be able to feel it's going to be solid. If it's rotten there, it's going to be spongy, and this thing will bend pretty good once you get in a hole, and you can force it down into either another boring, and it'll hit hard, and you'll know it's another boring, or if it's spongy and you can move the bit around it, this shell indicator down around in there a little bit, then you know that's rot. You can also bore in another angle to double check it all anyway. All right, so that's the deal with the resistograph. I think it should be probably avoided. Yeah, unless you can get confirmation that it won't, but I don't know how it wouldn't register as bad. All right, well, I'm going to do better videos, I promise, later, but I just ain't got time now. I've been trying to do these forever, and here we are. Dad, the paper. I bought everything I needed, like whiteboard and all this good stuff, and then I don't have it when I need to do the video, and here we are. So there's a resistograph.